Good evening, everybody. What a big night. Hi. Welcome to the after show. I think if you haven't been before, we've just watched the episode of Dream Sequence Always Rings Twice, a fave. And it's actually been a pretty big night around here because we had Neil Mandelberg and Deborah Frank doing a live talking about their experiences on Moonlighting, but also on this episode. I know because I write, like I'm always intrigued by like the writing process and stuff. And I think it's always cool when people write in teams. And of course, Deborah Frank wrote with Carl Sauter. Hey, Jamie, how's it going? And I was really interested in their process, and especially for this episode, because, you know, she's a female writer, he's a male writer. And, you know, there was a guy dream and a girl dream. And the argument is kind of like, are you a sexist? It's kind of like a chauvinist argument. Anyway, my point is, and you guys, hey, Joe, how's it going? My point is you can go back and watch their live. Incidentally, it's on the YouTube channel, our Moonlighting 21 channel. And some of the insights, and hey, Lori, how's it going? Some of the insights were just really cool. I'm going to turn this light down a little bit. Now I'm in the dark. But anyway, that was kind of cool to watch. But so I'm going to tell you guys, if you came in late, didn't know, go look at it. It's great. But we watched the episode tonight. Hi, Diana. And after the live, we watched it, and I think it's a favorite for all of us, for a litany of reasons. And it's cool to have the insight of one way of how Deborah and Carl wrote it. But I think it's also cool to have the insight of how we interpret it as people who are fans of Maddie and David, and how we interpret their relationship. Because at the end of the day, I mean, it's entertaining and fun, and it's black and white, and they sing songs and stuff. At the end of the day, it's kind of a peek into their subconscious about how they feel about men and women in relationships and how they relate, but also how they see themselves and David in a relationship. Like, that's kind of the underlying vibe. And even when Deborah talked about it tonight, when she talked about how she went in with Carl to pitch it for Moonlighting this episode, yeah, they had a script in mind that they had shopped other places, that there was a black and white episode. But remember, it was then tailor-made for Moonlighting, for Maddie and David to discuss this, are you an animal, are you a sexist, and how it relates to them in their relationship and how they relate to each other. So that's kind of cool to think of that perspective. Hey, Vic Ann. And so I thought we could talk about that a little bit. I have my notes here, as usual. If you're new here tonight, chime in whenever, and I can see your comments. But it starts, first of all, just a couple face value stuff. Here are the couple things in the beginning that I love. I love that the character, Mr. Bigelow, I said this in the comments, I weirdly like him. Like, he's a jerk because he's trying to frame his wife. But I like how he appears in all the dreams. Like, he's the manager. It's funny that Maddie and David both met this guy during the day, and so now he's randomly in their dreams at night. That's genius. I love how that was written in. Jerry, I had my own issues about Jerry. I feel like, and we talked about this during the watch party, I know for myself that Jerry's kind of, I don't know, at some points, maybe he deserved to be hit in the head. Do you know what I'm talking about? I just want to make sure my comments are working, because last time they got glitchy. All right. But anyway, they're having this argument about, sexist, I don't know, who's capable of committing murder. We all know the plot line, the storyline. They happen upon the Flamingo Cove. It's a case. There's a notorious murder that happened there. Hi, Candace, how's it going? And they end up debating who they think murdered. And it's just, one of those silly arguments that you find your friend or something, just like a confrontation or whatever. But it really gets them to think you think the man did it because he's a man, and you think the woman did it because he's a woman. And it kind of goes down this rabbit hole, which is great because, I don't know, do you guys think that Maddie is a sexist? Do you think that David is an animal? Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to start with Maddie's dream because that's the order of it. I don't know. First of all, um, I like when she falls asleep and then, first of all, do you guys really think she's listening to like jazz music when she, I don't know. Like, I don't know. You ever think about like what kind of radio station she plays in the car? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just curious what you guys think. But she put on big band music, and I understand that that's kind of a plot device, but okay. So in her dream, she's like this, you know, low key, you know, I don't know, unassuming, kind of weak, you know, not weak, but like demure, unassuming. I don't know. Do you guys think that's how Maddie sees herself? I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I would think she would see herself as like this strong woman. I don't know. Or maybe she is dreaming about the other, I don't know, about somebody that's not her. But I don't know. I think it's interesting that when you are introduced to like David or Zach, that he's kind of a take charge guy. He's kind of arrogant. Yeah, I guess Maddie would think that way. But he kind of like, he makes like he's kind of like, oh, the canary. He's kind of like an arrogant asshole. Judy said this. Didn't you say this, Judy, that like he was kind of arrogant? I want to make sure that these are working. Swipe for the comments. And what? Oh, good, Jamie. Jerry's like the guys Maddie dates. Yeah. Hi, Candace. Yeah, Jerry's a nice dumbass and the mean dumbass. Yeah. Maddie's listening to that kind of, you could see Maddie listening to that kind of music. Yeah. Maddie was a sexist in that moment. I'm going through see if there must have been a glitch. Sorry, guys. Yeah, he doesn't waste any time. He is on her. Oh, look at the canary. And he does it right in front of Jerry. Like, and what annoys me is, and I think, who was the dentist was saying this, like, you know, he doesn't do anything. And I don't know, ladies in here, wouldn't you kind of be like, you kind of would want your man to be annoyed that somebody else was like moving in on you, and like another guy, like your husband's like, oh, whatever, you know, like, I don't know. So maybe that's just me. Jerry reminds me of the jar of mayonnaise from Maddie's dream and the train. Jamie, that's a great point. Like, Maddie's having this dream, like, that this is, you cracked me up with the statement that he deserved to be hit over the head. Thank you, Noreen, because I really did feel that in my heart. Like, if you're really that dumb and you really don't care that somebody's, like, I'm thinking about this, like, if I was in a relationship, like, if I had a boyfriend, like, you don't care that they're moving in on me. Maybe you do, you know, need to wake up. Give a shit. You know what I mean? And Zach, okay, yeah. Jerry was the jar of mayonnaise and Zach is the David crashing through the door. Oh, you're referencing Tracks of My Tears. Yeah. I think Jerry was just very trusting of Maddie, maybe, which is interesting. There's a couple things in her dream, I think, that are interesting about that kind of like, are part of her subconscious. I think Maddie's character in the dream, she's attracted to Zach right away. Like, she doesn't want to be, but she is, kind of like in her everyday life. And what she likes about Zach, what kind of draws her in the beginning, is that he's arrogant. He's kind of, you know, he's full of himself. He's, you know, he has the swagger and the whole thing. That's really appealing to him, kind of like David is. And he's kind of take charge in that way. Yeah, kind of foreshadowing Maddie and David. Absolutely. Yeah, because we said this. Remember, Jerome says that this is actually Maddie and David in a previous life. Remember in Womb with a View. Again, we're Moonies. We look at it through the course of the series, not just the episode and where it is. She, like, I wrote down here that she, like, a take charge of what she needs to take care of them. Yeah, I love Bad Boy Zach. Yeah, Bad Boy Zach. But that's the thing. Do you think Maddie has that kind of threat? You know how, you guys know, like, a girl, like, that likes bad boys, and like they just are attracted to boys that aren't necessarily good for them. And I say boys, men, whatever. They're attracted to guys that aren't necessarily good for them, but they're wild, you know. I think this is what she's kind of like, you know, my boring husband doesn't even care that I find you fascinating, so I'm going to lean into this a little bit, right? And why not? Yeah, he makes, I don't know, Battle of Sexes. Okay, so a couple things. I have a question about her dream. If he didn't really want her in the end, why did he kill Jerry in the first place? And I know we had a conversation about like who really did commit the murders. Well, in theory, we don't really know what we just know what they think happened. So like in the dreams, there's a perpetrator, but like it's just who they think. Like I said, I think Maddie was convinced what David was like, and I think Zach in her dream was what she convinced herself David was like, and I think that's spot on. Yeah, convinced with what David was like, and I think Zach in her dream was what she convinced herself about David. Yeah, I think it does. I think it speaks to her that David is an arrogant jerk who, at the end of the day, was going to manipulate her into a bad road, a dark road. Right? And actually, I mean, I suppose now's a good time. I can show you. Okay, so, you know, of course, Deborah Frank tonight had her own script because she wrote it, but I have a script too. And there's a scene I told you guys that was deleted from Maddie's dream, and I'm going to read it. Okay, I'll tell you where it lands. It is, let me see, it's page 68. It is right after Myrna. You know, where Mr. Pesto, who plays Myrna, and the cop comes to the door and he's like, yeah, your husband's rushing to a show with a pipe that wouldn't blow. And she's like, oh no. Right. And he leaves. So then right after that, she goes, let me find it. 68. Anyway, he picks her up in the car. Zach picks her up in the car. And, no, I can't find it. Here we go. 48? Anyway, he picks her up in the car and she's kind of like, I love you. We did it. We killed him. And he was like, yeah, whatever. And he just blows her off. And then the next scene is when he shows up with the police detective and she's arrested. And good point. Why didn't she defend herself? I think Noreen said that earlier. He might have had to save himself of the murder, so he gave her up. Yeah, that's what it was, Judy. Why didn't she just turn him in? I wondered the same. What did he get out of it? A power play game? I don't know. He wanted her and he loved her. Why did he? To save himself from getting arrested? Yeah. Okay, so here it is. You sure? Okay, so she leaves after the police detective leaves. And then, okay, it's a very cool, I'm going to read it. What the hell, right? Car at night. It's raining. Headlights sweep past his face, and we watch as he leans forward, applying pressure to the brakes and stops the car. Rita's in the car. And Zach says to her, you sure you weren't followed? Rita, yeah. What's the problem, Dollface? I think they're on to us. This lieutenant discovered that Jerry's clarinet was dented. What'd he say? It's not what he said, it's what he didn't say and how he didn't say it. You don't say. What are we going to do? And Zach says, don't panic. The coppers are going to try to chip away at us nice and slow, like try to get us to turn on each other, but we won't. We won't say a thing. No matter how hard they try, that's all. Nothing to it. And then he stops the car. Now go home and get some rest. And she goes, oh, Zach, I love you. And they kiss. And he's like, yeah, me too. And he just lets her out of the car. And then the next scene is him getting her getting arrested. So what did he get out of it? Nothing. Or I guess this scene implies it's like abort, because now they're on to him. Because he just had that conversation. Because she thinks they're onto him. So I'm wondering, that's too bad that they edited that scene out because it explains a little bit more, but then at the end of the day, maybe we don't care. You know what I mean? So yeah, it is to save himself from getting arrested, Noreen. That's what I'm thinking. Because the scene clearly is like, yeah, he was a scoundrel. Agreed, Noreen. Wish that scene was in the show. Yeah, because we were gypped out of another kiss is what happened because they kiss here. And she even says, I love you. But then he's kind of like, eh. Because he says, yeah, me too. Whatever. Yeah, me too. And that's that scene. Okay. Wish that scene was in the show. Yeah, me too. There's a couple of, there's actually 2 kisses we're gypped out of. The second one is the picture. And I'll tell you, I'm kind of jumping ahead, but I'll tell you where it is. You know the picture I posted tonight when I said, oh, the watch party, and it's them like kissing and she's up against the wall and she's in that flowered dress. You know that scene in David's dream where he has the voiceover and he says, the more I had, the more, she was like peanuts. The more I had, the more I wanted. It flashes to them kissing like that, like in a back alley, like behind a pole. And like there's a big makeout scene, it says right in the script. And but that was edited out. So did you just go from town to town sleeping with married women and killing their husbands and blaming them? I don't know what his end game was. I guess, like, because it makes it, I guess he was like a journeyman, I don't know, like, you know, like cornet player, whatever. Maddie's subconsciously afraid David is so cold that he would screw her over so easily. Yeah. And it's interesting because tonight's insight from Deborah Frank, when she was like, she would try to write these scenes that would be like female gaze or like soften Maddie, and they'd be edited out, whether it be for time or strategic reasons. I don't know. She didn't go into that. But I think that's one of those examples. I wonder if Maddie thought David would abandon her if push came to shove. And yeah, and I think that unfortunately, as Moonies, we look at it in the whole scope of the series, I think you're right. I think when, especially if you think of season 5, he kind of did after Yuck and Hard Place. Like, where was he? Yeah, saying that, like, yeah, you guys are all in agreement. Yeah. Like he couldn't toe the line. I think that's her big thing, like being taken care of. Like, and he even has that line in there. I wrote it down. He says, I'll take care of it. Don't worry, tomorrow, I'll take care of it. Like, and I think that's appealing to Maddie, to be taken care of. And I think that's a theme. I thought about this when I heard this line tonight, and I was really thinking about, you know, when we all watch together, you start thinking about stuff. So like this theme of Maddie wanting to be taken care of, and he says, I'll take care of it. Wait, Vic Hannah, okay, wait. Room with a View. Same around there. That whole Yuck and Hard Place was the reconciliation. Yeah. So Maddie has this thing about taking care of. Do you guys remember? Of course you do, because you're Moonies. The music, the original music that was playing when Sam was proposing to Maddie. It's Linda Ronstadt, right? Someone to watch over me. And I think, of course, Glenn always was very particular about the music, as we all know. I think that's pretty telling. I think that's what Maddie wants, somebody to watch over her. And I think maybe that what she wanted was misconstrued when she went for Walter, because he's a jar of mayonnaise. But you can kind of see that thread in the dream, like kind of like, I'll take care of it. And he's a guy that takes care of shit, takes care of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, she kind of went with it because, you know, she could let him she could drive the car and she could be the passenger for a bit. Does that make sense? I don't know. Just thought I'd make that little connection. What was I going to say? So yeah, we talked about that. So that's Maddie's dream. Anything else to add about Maddie's dream? I want to go to David's dream. I think David's dream is a lot more fun. It's like Dreams Weekend slipped into her deep fears about each other. Hi, Christy, by the way. If they ever let themselves be in a relationship with each other. Yeah. I really wanted to know tonight, like when you guys were talking about, like with Deborah and Neil, like how they wanted the show to end. Like, that's like my question for anybody who ever worked on that show. So if anybody interviews anybody again, please ask. Okay, next thing, David's dream. I think everybody likes David's dream. Deborah Frank even said she liked writing it better. Here's what I liked about it. Tell me if you agree. I love the voiceover because I think it has another layer of insight to the character. Like if there was a Maddie voiceover in Maddie's dream, maybe we would have to speculate less. And, you know what I mean? So like, but David's, because we have that voiceover and that insight, it's a little bit, you know, easier. I also like David's dream because I'm gonna be out. I'm just gonna put it there. It's a lot higher. It's a lot hotter. Like we have all the sex scenes in it, the kisses. There's more kisses. Yeah, it's more Fillmore than Maddie's. Yeah, absolutely. And I just think it's a lot more moody and fun and whatever. Again, this is David's, and it is funnier. It sure is, because it's David's dream. So of course it's going to be a little snarky, and he's going to look great in it. Like, you know, I'm this confident asshole who always gets the woman. However, this crazy bitch got the best of me, you know? That's the vibe of the movie, or I'm sorry, of his dream. And I think it's funny because, you know, as we compare their subconscious, I feel like that's what he feels like in his everyday life. Like, this woman is so hot. I walk in and it's kind of the same reaction he had in the pilot of her, right? When he walked in, he's like, that's when I saw her. She made me feel great that I was a man. And he was on it. Hey, what are you doing? You know, want to go out? Want to hang out? And she's like, my husband didn't really care. Kind of like when he broke in on her date in the pilot. Didn't really care. Because he wants what he wants. And that's appealing to her. And I also think we get some insight that he likes that. He sees an edge in Maddie. That's the Maddie he wants, for sure. Someone who just jumps on whatever she wants. Yeah, but I also think he sees that edge in her. And there's a potential there. Like, because we've seen it too. Like, Maddie says stuff, and it's not like she hasn't been around in the sense she's seen things in her life. I mean, yes, she's sheltered, but she has it in her to be a little bit snarky and a little bit, you know, put out there. I wonder if he wished Maddie was more like Rita. And that's what I'm going to ask you guys. That's what I was going to ask you guys. What do you guys think? Do you think that that's the case? Do you think that, I mean, David liked her sharp. Exactly. I think he likes that edge to her. And I think he likes himself when he can bring it out in her. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you know, he's a cocky guy. So like, yeah, see, I bring that edge out in her. That's all me. You know, so like that's cool to him. You know what I mean? That's just my, I don't know, my insight. What just happened? Yeah. That's what he said in the laundromat. That's exactly true, 100%. One of the tropes of Fillmore is a guy falling for a femme fatale that would eventually screw him over. That's Rita, for sure. Yeah, Christy, good point. And that's true. And you know, poor David, you know, he's tried so hard. And, you know, and of course in this, you know, this dream, you know, he falls for this woman and he's going to save her life because at the end of the day, she does come on to him. She's a married woman. They hook up, have hot kissing, sex scenes, whatever. But at the end of the day, her husband, Jerry, is an asshole, right? So, and then David wants a good woman and Rita was not. Right. And I think he kind of feels that on some levels too. Like, you know, Manny, can you, and you know, like, she's a good woman, but, oh, she's going to be the death of me. All women are femme fatale. What are you saying, Joe? Fair. I guess it's fair. So yeah, what was I saying? Oh, the femme fatale thing. I think it's funny. I'm going to backtrack again, but I just want to say this. I think the femme fatale thing is obvious. You know, at the end where he's like going to sit in the electric chair and Maddie, you see the shot of Maddie, or it's Rita, pulling the lever. She's the one that actually, like, literally is the death of him. That's why men die before women. It could be. Maybe it's, you know, it has nothing to do with biology. Maybe it's just we drove you to it. I'm sorry. On behalf of my whole gender, I'm sorry. But anyway, she's the one that pulls the lever, right? So it's not only like she's literally killing him, but she's like the death of him. And it's his subconscious, so maybe it's him being like, she's going to be the death of me, man. Like, she's killing me. So I just thought that was an interesting parallel. Let me ask you this, and this was brought up tonight. When Maddie has when Rita has the black eye, did you guys think she put it there, like, to manipulate him? Or did you really think that Jerry beat her up? Rita's like the Maddie that jumps him on the desk several times. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Because I think Maddie has it in her. And he sees that. He sees that she has that edge in her. I did wonder about that, not sure. Did you think about that before tonight? I thought about this. I always thought that she did it to herself to manipulate him because he's like, you know, no, I'm not going to kill him. But then she was kind of like, fine, I can't go on seeing you then. And then she was like, went home and was still, she's like, oh, but I still want to kill him, you know? And that was the best way to go. Yeah, see, you did too. I was always doubtful about her black eye. Noreen said, Judy said yes. Joy says yes. She does tell him that there are parts of her that nobody's ever seen, not even David. Yes, and Vic Ann always wondered too. Yeah, there's parts, you know, I mean, we're a long way from season 5. And parts of her that he's never seen. I don't know. I think he's pretty clear on who she is. I think at that point by season 5, when she says that, I think he's still more of a mystery than she is, honestly. I mean, that's just me. But we could, I don't know. That's for you guys to, I don't know. But you know, we're not there yet. And I say, thank God, because you know, season 5. I don't know. I'm going back to, yeah, did she bruise her own eye? When Maddie pulls the lever, I think it's funny because basically at the end of season 5, I know, I stopped, Noreen, I know. I really think she does. He thinks that she controls his existence and how, you know, he, you know, relates to the world. I think there are parts of her personality she won't let out. I agree. Or she doesn't want to let out, but yeah. Let's see. Other things. Other funny things in the episode I noticed. Last one out, turn off the lights. You know, it's written on the wall. It cracks me up every time. I don't know, it just does. I'm looking at the comments. Okay. And, oh, that's just other random stuff. Going back to David's dream for a second, I think it's interesting that I don't think he initiates any of the hookups at all. I wanted to say that. She was always the one that in each one she kisses him first. She, you know, she's always the one to initiate the kissing or the sex scenes. Her dress was purple. I thought it was black. Oh, that's the other thing I want to talk about. Some of the fashion in this. I have some of the stills and, the men's room line. Yeah. Okay, I love that it's in black and white. I don't think the story could have been told as well otherwise. I think that's essential to the whole episode. But it is a shame that we don't see the fashion of the, you know, like the show, you know, like all the beautiful dresses. Her dresses were gorgeous. In her dream, the one with the sequence around her neck, it's almost like a halter. That one is pink. It's really pretty. And it's like silver and pink with like rhinestone. And there's one that's purple. Then there's one that has like black and white. That's the one where she walks in and like makes out with him under the hot sign. And then the one, it's like a purpley, very deep purple. It's almost like a gemstone color. And then there's one, the flowery one that you guys see. It's the one I posted tonight with the flowers, and she's wearing purple. You know what? Maybe Christy would know. Is that a femme fatale thing, the color purple? Because it's like a violet color. There's like a thread of like a violet color. I don't know. And actually, now that I think about it, now that I'm down a rabbit hole, Jerry Finnerman taught me about using colors when shooting. Yeah, Bruce was not... yeah, color. I mean, it's a big deal on the show, even though we couldn't really see any color this episode. It is such a big deal. But yeah, there's like a purple in a lot of the, I don't know if you look at the stills that are color. But anyway, I just thought I'd add that. What else do I have to say? I had some other notes. Oh, there's a line in here. When shooting black and white, not Bruce Willis. Oh, I'm glad you clarified that. Thank you. Because I was curious. I was like, wait, you took pictures of Bruce Willis. Yeah. But, wait. There's a line that Zach says to Rita that I pulled out, and I thought that was interesting. And he says, this is in Maddie's dream. Have you looked at yourself lately in the mirror? You look unsettled. Now, this is Maddie's dream. You guys all know when it is, right? When he's outside trying to kiss her, like she walks out and he's playing his horn and they walk down the stairs and then they're going to have the big kiss. That's what he says to her. And remember, it's his dream. Do you really think that that's something that's like, she's like precipitating on, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, am I unsettled? Like, what am I looking for in my life? I think that's a pretty telling line. And I think it was put in there intentionally. And it is how it reads in the script. So I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. Yeah, you look unsettled. And then the next thing he says is married, but still, that's cool. Here's my other thing, pet names. I enjoy that through David's dream, he calls her Angel. Do you think that Maddie would have given it to David so fast, like Rita gave in to Zach fast? I don't know. Oh, does he say unsettled or settled? Did I hear that wrong? Well, I guess the meaning is still clear. Like settled or unsettled, meaning unhappy or stagnant, right? But wait, do I think that Maddie would have given into David's? Well, clearly she didn't. I don't know. I think, again, her insight, maybe she wanted to in her dream. She's like, what if I gave in to David? Like, what if I just, indulged in every desire I ever have? What if it's just a dream? But of course, in her everyday life, she can't. Because in her dream, she was all about the boinking from his first move, for sure. And maybe that's, her, her animalistic Maddie side. Like, if she could, she would. Why not? Yeah, I can see that. But she can't act on it in real life, because then there'd be ramifications. And oh my gosh, how would she live with herself? But if David, let's say, brought her to his place in the first episode, like would she have gone for it? No, I don't think so. I'm sure she would have thought about it. Although, I don't know. Have we talked about that before in the first episode? Had he brought her to her place? I think I've made this argument before. I don't know. She had a rough day. This is a little bit of a tangent, and then I'll come back. But let's think about this, guys. Roll with me for a second. Yeah, maybe she would have. I don't know. She had a rough day that day, right? I mean, her money was stolen. She has like papers nailed to her door that she's being served, right? So that's something legal that's not good. Her car, she's had to close down all her businesses. And then this hot guy who really is the only highlight in her day is like, you want to come back to my place? I don't know. Oh, Joy. Yeah. Good. No worries, Joy. Oh, thanks. You're awesome. You did great. And go to sleep. Great job. Have a good night. But I think, I don't know, if I was Maddie, I'd kind of be like, yeah, there's an insight to my character, but I'm just saying, if she did, I don't blame her. You know what I mean? Sometimes trauma brings that out. I don't know. That's just my take on that. But anyway, I think, yeah, I think Maddie was living out what she'd want to do in her dream. Yeah, why not? And same thing for David and his. But I think at the end of the day, they also had their own agenda and how they see themselves as the victim or being taken advantage of and being right. Because I don't know, I think at the end of the day, they both want to be right fighters. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah, good night, Joy. I mean, let the day have some good things. Yeah, that's true. I agree with you. It was a rough day in the pilot, so why not, And she had been drinking, she had where I didn't give her a comment. No, that was the second, but like doing shots. So anyway, there's that. Did I already say the pet name thing? Let me ask you this. Are there any instances in the show where they have pet names? I only think David calls her Honey a couple times. I thought about this. Like, let's think about pet names here. I happened to have My Fair David on because it's after Dream Sequence and it was running through today. And he calls her honey in that, but it's kind of, yeah, Blondie. But yeah, but it's not like an affection. Hi, Mickey. How's it going? Yeah, Blondie Blonde. Yeah, Blondie Blonde. Um, I think one time he calls her sweetheart, and I can't remember which episode that is. If anybody remembers. Goldilocks. All right, good. Yeah, you're right. Yep, Blondie Blonde, Mickey, you're right. I don't think she had any for him. I don't think she did either. I was really thinking about this. I don't think like there's any endearments like as far as like when they were together. I think only one time in Womb with a View he calls her honey when she collapsed. Sweetheart's in the pilot. Okay, I knew it. Yes, of course. Welcome, Mickey. Yeah, that's in the pilot. I love the pilot. I've said this before. Yep, kid. I don't think the pilot gets enough love, guys. I really don't. And it bothers me sometimes. I understand maybe that it wouldn't be the first thing people watch. I mean, it would be the first thing people watch because it's the pilot. But as Moonies, it's not a go-to episode, but I think it should be. I know for some people, there's a few people out there who it is. I don't know. I'm rambling about that. But anyway, the only other like pet, anytime they use an endearment, like when they're together, is in Womb with the View when she collapses at the shower. He goes, "Are you all right, honey?" And then he calls her honey again. He's like, "Honey," when she collapses. That's the only time I can think of. Her outfit when she goes to see the accountant is my favorite. Oh yeah, she looks like she's going on a safari, man. That's what I always thought, because she's in like this, this khaki outfit with the hat and her hair's up. Doesn't it look like she's going to take pictures of elephants? I think it's very pretty, but that's what it reminds me of. Just saying. Let's just put that out there. Anyway, all right. I think that is all I have. Yeah. Does anybody else have anything to say tonight? That scene was so quick. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. That is a great scene. Womb with a View. That's a great episode. Yeah. Anything else from tonight? We should also do What's Up in Moonlighting this week. I gotta say, I've had a busy week and weekend, so I was on the loop, but I wasn't the most present person on the loop. I know that we've had, Jamie posted some more fan fiction, I know that. And there's another, Shauna added another chapter to Christmas Miracle. She writes under Maddie Hayes. Oh, and the show's available, that's right, on Apple TV for 60 days. So like, can somebody explain this to me? The platforms, the digital platforms, so what is it? Like you're buying the series? It's the entire series. But is it the digital? It's not what's on the DVDs, right? So I'm just trying to understand. Like my greatest fear, roll with me. My greatest fear is that I will never be able to have a Moonlighting ever anywhere, right? So it's like I'm packing my fallout shelter of Moonlighting. So like I have my copy, I have 2 copies, or no, actually I have 3 of each season of my DVDs. 2 are open, 1 of each are not. And now, do you see? I mean, I feel like I can say this to you guys because you understand. It's the digital copies, not the DVDs. Okay. Actually, I was just trying to figure something out about the background songs in certain episodes. Oh, like what, Mickey? There's certain songs are missing or changed and it's annoying to you? Yeah. Join the club. Yeah. Yeah, that's just one of the things. That's why it's so great. Thank you, DVD campaign people, that we have. But basically, you buy it and watch it in the app whenever you like it would be on Hulu. God, so that would actually save people money who just got Hulu just to watch Moonlighting. Considering I pay, what, $70 a month to have Hulu? But I use it for normal television also. Sorry, this is going off the rails, but... so yeah. Is there anything else Moonlighting this week? Wesley bought the songs on the episodes, but the songs are 2011. I don't know. Oh, I don't know about the songs. It's weird. Oh, you mean that there are songs being used on the shows that like were made in? I know there's a couple of them that are, and it's like this song was on the radio yesterday. Like, yeah, and this is 1986. I understand what you mean. I noticed that. Yeah, like oh, I know what it is. They replaced it like a song like when Richie is dancing with Maddie. That's like a song that's very recent. Yeah, they changed a lot of the songs, and but that is interesting that they put in songs that are way newer. Hmm. That's true. That's true. But anyway, anybody have anything else to add that happened this week? This is kind of a shorter episode, not like or shorter discussion. I think because I mean this episode is genius. And there's so much to talk about, but I think a lot of this episode discussion centers around behind the scenes stuff because they aren't who they are in this episode. Do you know what I mean? They aren't really Maddie and David in this episode. I know we were confused too when we heard the music and sad and annoyed in some cases. Yes. Yep. I totally get it. Understood. But anyway. Really? Can you wait? Diana says more fun and frolic coming to this group. Can you dish? Can you give hints or no? You don't want to give hints, Diana? No? All right, fine. You don't have to. I get it. What a great fight. That was awesome that you guys arranged that tonight. So much appreciated. But anyway, anything else about tonight? I know we do always have fun here. Next week is My Fair David. Does everybody like that episode? I think it, a little bit more insight. Yes. And working on more Q&A. Oh, great. Fabulous. Nice. Anything else? Anybody else have anything to add? Yes. I love My Fair David too. Yep. Love My Fair David. Yep. And I invite everybody to watch the episode. Like you could take watch the episode before and take notes. Like my process is I pull the script for the episode, I take notes and watch it before we have the watch party, and then I take more notes so I don't miss anything. So yeah. All right. Well, guys, it's been fun. Tonight was thank you for hanging and everything. And you do watch it before you, Noreen, yeah. So, listen, I'll see everybody on the loop. And, I love all you Moonies out there. So, wait, where'd I get the scripts? Oh, like 20 something more years ago. They were on, who I think got them? I got them from is John. I'll have to ask. Maybe not all of them. But, yeah, I got them online. What was it, eBay? Like 20 years ago. And I got I'm missing like a couple random ones. And then I have a couple that were never produced. So, which are fun, but they're early. But we added 2 more numbers. We'll do a welcome post. All right. All right, yeah. Good night, Judy. Good night, everybody. And I'll see you next week. Bye.